not going to change nothing. It's not going to change the fact that he's going to get his ass whooped July 18th, you know, and I'm going in there to just to go to work from the opening bell to the last bell, just put a beating on him for sure.
What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at 168 pounds between the undefeated Diego Pacheco and Immanuwel Aleem. Before I continue, I want to thank all the new subscribers. I also want to thank everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? One more thing, in the comments section below, pinned is a link to join our world famous Johnny Says Boxing professional betting Discord. You could either join here on YouTube or join on Patreon. It's a couple bucks a month. Whichever way you choose, you gain access to our professional betting academy. It's not just boxing, it's all pro sports. Click that link to find out more. Boxing is back in full swing. We have a crazy busy week all throughout the world, starting actually today in Japan. But in this video, what we're gonna do is focus on a fight that goes down this weekend in Carson, California. We're gonna talk about the main event between the 6'4", 25-year-old undefeated super middleweight Diego Pacheco taking on the battle-tested, very durable and rugged Immanuwel Aleem. So in this video, what we're gonna do is break down both fighters' careers. We're gonna talk a little bit about how they go about their business. And like always, guys, stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction, telling you where to put your money. You'd have to think that the winner of this fight will be fighting for a world title next. Diego Pacheco is a guy that we have watched grow up right in front of us. He is only 25 years old. I put that stat up in our Discord earlier in the week, and it's one of these things that could sometimes get overlooked. When we think about the 168-pound division historically, this is a grown man division. So to see a kid at 25 years old maintain an undefeated record, we've seen ups and downs in his performances, but he has figured out a way to stay unbeaten. We last saw him in a really tough fight against a durable, rugged, tough, strong, powerful Kevin Sajo, a fight that went the distance. Sajo is a guy who's on the front foot, ultra aggressive, has a very active style. And in Pacheco's opponent this weekend, there are some similarities to Immanuwel Aleem. He's another guy that whoever he fights, his opponent better be in shape, they better be conditioned, and they better pack their lunch. Because Immanuwel Aleem is a guy who's going to put it on you. He's not going to take too many steps back, and he wants to fight in the wheelhouse. He wants to weaponize his cardio. We last saw him on the losing side of a decision against Lester Martinez, a fight that was competitive enough, but Aleem wasn't winning many rounds. A lot of people going into that fight were expecting Lester to knock out Immanuwel Aleem, and through Aleem's performance, he opened enough eyes to propel him into this matchup. There's a couple changes on Diego Pacheco's side. We know that the LA native has done the majority of his pro career in the Pacific Northwest training with Jose Benavidez Sr. He's recently left Benavidez Sr. He's been paired with Hall of Fame boxer and coach Buddy McGirt. Personally, I like this acquisition on Pacheco's part. When you think about McGirt as a coach, he's one of these guys who's able to get through to his fighters. He practices technique, discipline. He really wants to pull the best out of each fighter, and he uses that in his coaching principles. When you're dealing with a student, an athlete like Pacheco, who is all the physical attributes, the size, the range, 6'4" for the division, super long, you have a lot to work with. So I'm expecting to see a Diego Pacheco who is going to be leveling up. I'm really excited to see the differences and the game plan and execution on Buddy McGirt's part in terms of what Pacheco's game plan will be against Immanuwel Aleem. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at both fighters' careers. Let's look at Aleem and see what he's been up to. Immanuwel Aleem is 22-4-3. Of his 22 wins, 14 of them come by way of knockout. Of his 4 losses, he's been stopped once. He does have 3 draws. Out of 1,760 fighters in the world at super middleweight, he's ranked number 77. He's fought a career total of 165 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 64% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the chosen one, and the 32-year-old American is a 5'9" orthodox fighter with a 70-inch reach. He was born in East Meadow, New York, USA, but calls Richmond, Virginia, USA home. We last saw him fight Lester Martinez, 19-0, lost to UD in the 12th. Demon Nicholson, 27-6, stopped him in the 9th. Winfred Harris Jr., 22-2, technical draw in the 8th. Gupkin, 10-4, won a UD in the 10th. Malcolm Jones, 17-3, stopped him in the 4th. Immanuwel Aleem is a very confident fighter. He's been around the block. Like I said, if you just look at his record, he's been on the wrong side of a lot of close decisions. He's lost some of those decisions. He has a handful of draws. What does that tell you? Also has a good knockout to win ratio. Coming in as the B-side, historically, he's one of these guys that sometimes fights don't go his way. You better be in shape, you better be conditioned, and you better be able to withstand that pressure. It was a very determined effort he gave against Lester Martinez. It's why he got this fight. A lot of people were impressed with his durability. I gotta be honest, nothing to take away from Immanuwel Aleem. I'm starting to think in terms of Lester Martinez, and this is an entirely different conversation we'll have when Lester's next fight is coming up. Maybe Martinez just isn't the puncher that his promoter sold us that he was, coming from Argentina. A lot of his knockouts, a lot of his stoppages come on the domestic level there. That being said, it was competitive enough, but I wasn't giving him too many rounds. Martinez was just doing a little bit better work, a little bit more action, a little bit more eye-opening shots for the judges, and Aleem was on a wide-end decision. More or less, however you scored it, he is getting another huge opportunity. You got to think the winner of this fight gets a world title shot. If Aleem goes in there and uses that pressure, uses his pace, he's going to want to push Pacheco on the back foot. We've seen Pacheco in recent performances not look his best. Whenever you're a young guy who has a lot of stoppages early on, the fans expect that. And in Pacheco, he's coming off a lot of decision wins. We talked about the Sajo performance, the Trevor McCumbee performance. In his recent outings, you kind of left scratching your head thinking, is he fading? Has he reached his ceiling? He sometimes looks disinterested. If he loses focus for any moment in this fight against Aleem, it could get away from him. So he has to be switched on. With Aleem, you know if you're betting on him, he's going to fight for your money. He's going to be there the entire time. Where his shortcomings are physically, standing at only 5'9", he makes up for that with his determination. It's going to be interesting on fight night. Will all of that be enough to fade Pacheco and have a massive upset? Before we look at the odds, I do want to take a look at the undefeated 25-year-old and see what he's been up to in his career. Diego Pacheco is 25-0. Of his 25 wins, 18 of them come by way of knockout. Out of 1,760 fighters in the world, he's ranked number 4. He's fought a career total of 128 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 72% career knockout to win ratio. The 25-year-old American is a 6'4" orthodox fighter with a 79-inch reach. He was born and lives in Los Angeles, California, USA. We last saw him fight Kevin Sajo, 26-0, UD in the 12th. McCumbee, 28-1, UD in the 12th. Steven Nelson, 20-0, UD in the 12th. Selecki, 32-2, stopped him in the 6th. McCalman, 15-0, UD in the 10th. If you go through his resume, Jack Cullen, Gallegos, McCumbee, Sajo, you might think that this guy is way older than he is. What other 25-year-old is fighting at 168 at this highest level? Also, what other 168-pounder has a resume like Diego Pacheco? Whenever you have hype, whenever you have promotion, whenever you've been in the public eye as long as Pacheco has, you're going to get scrutiny and you're going to get your performances broken down by your naysayers as well as your fans. And as of late, like I said, he's had less than awe-inspiring performances. When you think about his weight class, though, and the size and the youthfulness he has, he hasn't even reached his physical prime yet. Why is that important? From a coaching perspective and a performance perspective, in my opinion as a coach myself, I feel he's not even close to his potential yet. So when I heard that he left Benavidez Sr., no shade to that camp, to go with a guy like Buddy McGirt, I was excited about that because McGirt is a guy that I feel could get through to Pacheco, keep him inspired, teach him some tricks of the trade, but more importantly, implement a game plan. Let Pacheco use his tools, what he does really well. Long-range weapons. I love his uppercuts. He likes to fight in the pocket. And I'm expecting a leveling up performance from Diego Pacheco. All will be known in due time. Aleem will be there to get hit. He's going to be in the wheelhouse. Pacheco better be in shape. And it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm excited for this fight. Guys, before we look at the Las Vegas odds, I want to remind everybody I do live streams every single day. In those live streams, I take the JSB insiders, so our VIPs, I take your questions. We build parlays. I give you my props, my picks of the week. You have to sign up to become a member to get my personal tickets. When I bet every week, and you can see the receipts, I give you my slips, so I have skin in the game with you. I'm not just telling you who to take, so that's really important. Make sure you hit notifications on the channel so you never miss one of those live streams. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. Currently on the money line, Diego Pacheco is a $1.06 favorite, meaning you put 100 on Diego to win, you get your money back plus $6. Aleem is a $11 dog, meaning you put 100 on Aleem, you get your money back plus 1,000. So a 10-to-1 underdog is Immanuwel Aleem. You're getting 6% return for Diego Pacheco to win. That's not bettable, in my opinion, on the money line. I can't put Diego Pacheco on a parlay on the money line, and I'm not going to take the $1.06 in any sort of bets. I do think Diego Pacheco is going to beat Immanuwel Aleem. I think his size is going to be too much. I'm expecting his sharpness to be on point. I'm expecting his conditioning to be on point. If you're watching his Instagram reels, if you're watching Buddy McGirt, the footage he shared, Diego Pacheco looks in shape, he looks lean, he looks sharp, and I'm excited to see the game plan, especially right off jump, what he chooses to do, stay at range or cut the distance early, use those long range weapons and fight Aleem in the pocket. Is Aleem really a 10-to-1 dog? I think that's super disrespectful. Maybe 4-to-1, maybe 3-to-1. I think it's a closer fight than what those odds suggest. What I'm going to play, the prop I'm going to play, and I know I'm probably going to get starched for this, but I'm trying to find value for you boys. And if you look on the screen right now, and if you're still here at the end of the video, this is my play. I'm taking Diego Pacheco at plus money by stoppage. I think he's going to have 12 rounds to work. The coaching change, I think he's going to be remotivated, and I feel he's still leveling up. So Diego Pacheco to stop Immanuwel Aleem at plus 150, that is my play. This is not an echo chamber. You do not have to agree with me. In the comment section below, let me know who you like, Pacheco or Aleem. And guys, stay tuned. We have a lot of fights to cover this weekend. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.